Welcome. I bid you welcome. This is Johnny Metal, John Clouser, the Metal Dad, coming to you from my music corner of the world. Day 16 of ApologetiX April, where I take a look at that Christian parody band, ApologetiX. So, what are we looking at today? So, today we're going to take a look at two more CDs of theirs. As we keep on going here. This one was released in 2015 as well. This first one, this one's called Play Nice. Okay, so you got a cute little cover here with a dog and I guess a little toy turtle there. So according to the liner notes and this particular CD, the reason it's called Play Nice is it includes a pair of parodies of artists associated with a softer sound, plus 4.5 songs fronted by females. So that's always a good thing. That's a neat thing. We got even some here that were spoofed here by hard-hitting bands, but there was their ballads that they chose instead of their rockers. So there you go. As far as the biblical reason for it, whether we're reasoning with a non-believer, as it would say in the first song where they parody "The Stroke" by Billy Squier, it's important to say, or whether you're rebuking a brother, which is kind of like what the last track says, which they parody Mr. Biggs' "To Be With You," and they called the song "To Be Rebuked." So we have to be nice. We have to play nice with people. We can't be thumping them too hard over the head with the Bible kind of thing, because that doesn't really win people over, does it? And that goes for just about any kind of view, really. So it's just a way of sharing how we use our deeds, and with our deeds how they translate to the world. And so there you go. So what do they cover on this one? So as I mentioned, they cover "The Stroke" by Billy Squier. They parody those songs. They parody "Black Velvet" by Alana Miles, calling it "Act Selfless." They do "Dancing Queen" by ABBA, and then that one's called "Desperate Queen." "Song Sung Blue" by Neil Diamond, their version's called "Psalms Come True." "We Got the Beat" by the Go-Go's. "We Got the Feet" is their parody version. "Shebop" by Cyndi Lauper, which is an interesting track. That one is the parody title there is "Shiva." "Tump Thumpin'" by Chumbawamba. Tough to Mumbling, I think is how they call, or Tough Tumbling, I think is how theirs is called here. "Rock You Like a Hurricane" by the Scorpions, and they drop that one. They do that one. Their title is called "Drop Your Knife and Run, Man," and "Hurry, Man." "Unskinny Bop" by Poison. "Unfinished Job," or maybe Unfinished Job, actually. "Talking in Your Sleep" by the Romantics, a song called "Talking Inner Peace," and of course the Mr. Big song "To Be With You," and they called it "To Be Rebuked." So it's certainly not easy to play nice with the rest of the world wants to play rough. We certainly see that as Christians. We're not looked at as too favorable sometimes. So it is hard. But we are given we are given that hope to carry through, and to carry the message through, and God will take care of us. The next CD also comes out in 2015. This was toward the end of the year. They kind of go 80s here with Keith rocking the Falcon hair by the guy from Flock of Seagulls. You can't see Euphrates without the 80s. So what do we have here? So again, according to the liner notes here, the Euphrates isn't just a river that flows through the Mesopotamian area. It's also a river that flows through the entire Bible, from Genesis 2:14 all the way through to Revelation 16:12. So it's mentioned about 50 times in over 16 books in the Bible. As far as why the 80s, well, the other river that flows through this particular CD is the 80s. Most of the tracks are all 80s based. So, and Moses and Aaron, which their story revolves around that area. they were in their 80s when God used them to part the Red Sea and get them out of Egypt. So, if as he says here, as if the parting of the Red Sea doesn't classify as a new wave moment or movement, what does? So, with that said, we do our apologetics parodies. I Melt With You by Modern English, and they call the song I Dealt With You. Goody Two Shoes by Adam Ant. Could He Choose You is their version. Mickey by Tony Basil. Their version is called Nikki, which I believe is about Nicodemus. I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. This is I Love Apostle Paul with, I believe, Jana singing, Jay's daughter. Stray Cat Strut by the Stray Cats. Strange Cat Butt is their parody name. White Wedding by Billy Idol. They call it Christ's Wedding. Keep on Loving You by REO Speedwagon. Their version is called Keep on Loving Ruth. They parody Flock of Seagulls, as with the cover here. With their Iran So Far Away, and they keep the same title. They just Iran into the country, not I ran. So a little wordplay there. Islands in the Stream by Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. I Went to the Stream is their title. Man Eater by Hall and Oates, and their version is called Ant Eater. Tainted Love by Soft Cell, and their version was called Faithless Love. Separate Ways, Worlds Apart by Journey. Theirs is called Separate Days to Worship God. So all 80s tracks, all classics, all well done. Bringing the female singers in adds a totally new dimension to their sound and really captures that feel of the originals, which is fantastic. So that is the look at today's day 16. We got apologetics here and Play Nice. And we have You Can't Say Euphrates without the 80s, both 2015 releases. So that's day 16 of ApologetiX April. That Christian parody band coming to you from this lovely month of April. I hope for those who've been tuning into this series, I hope you've enjoyed it. We got plenty of more month to go. So that said, John Clowes of Johnny Metal, the Metal Dad here, coming to you from my music corner, and we will see you tomorrow.